The number of people riding motorcycles and scooters in Western Australia is growing fast. Higher fuel prices and more traffic congestion mean more and more people riding motorcycles or scooters for daily transport. Others ride for recreation, mainly on weekends. Unfortunately, significant numbers of riders are killed or seriously injured in crashes each year. About half of these crashes don't involve another vehicle. The rider may have lost control and run off the road, hit a tree or a pole on the side of the road, or been thrown from the motorcycle and hit the road surface. But the engineering and condition of the road surface and road environment can help avoid a crash or reduce the severity of injuries should a crash occur.
Today, safety has become a major priority. There are lots of people working to ensure rider safety, and it covers lots of things. An important part of rider safety is road engineering, including design, the building and the maintenance of our roads and road sites.
When building or maintaining roads, it's important to understand just how vulnerable motorcycle riders are. Motorcycle riders behave in ways that car drivers and engineers who do not ride a motorcycle don't necessarily understand. So it's important to understand what the rider does and why, and the dynamics of the motorcycle.
Take, for instance, our position on the road. We often move around on the road, move from one side to the other. Sometimes we're just looking for the best, most secure piece of bitumen to ride on, or to avoid some problem on the road surface, such as a pothole, loose gravel or debris, or a dip in the bitumen. Often when we're coming up to a corner, we're positioning ourselves so we can see around the corner or through the corner, so we can see hazards well in advance. So we change our riding line to suit the situation. Unlike a car driver who tends to sit in the same place on the road the whole time and therefore occupies the same position within a lane, a motorcyclist has to keep changing because the things we need to know are far more important. And on corners, a consistent camber or super elevation is very important to enable a rider to keep a consistent line through the corner.
Motorcyclists need to be able to look at the road surface and gauge how good it's going to be. They're doing things like braking, turning, leaning over. When the bike leans over, the tyre contact patch is reduced dramatically. And while they're leaning over, they'll be looking up ahead, scanning the surface to see what kind of hazards might be coming up. That could be some loose gravel on the road surface, and it doesn't have to be a lot. Just a little is all it takes to destabilise the motorcycle.
On a motorcycle with its two inline wheels, 95% of braking takes place through the front wheel, especially in an emergency. Generally, the motorcycle sits with its weight distributed 50-50, but on hard braking, all that weight comes forward onto one contact patch, the front tyre, and that has to flatten out, grip the surface and provide a stable surface to stop the motorcycle or reduce its speed. Heavy braking on a corner to avoid hitting a hazard as the motorcycle is leaning will often result in the motorcycle sliding out from under the rider because of the lack of grip of the tyres.
Today, Main Roads WA engineers work hard to keep motorcyclists safe. They incorporate safety features such as anti-skid paint, road surfacing and sealing of bell mouths to keep gravel off the road. Another important safety feature to protect motorcyclists is the installation of safety barrier rub rails, especially on outside curves, and stack cushions on wire rope barrier posts. They're the sorts of initiatives that can be used throughout Western Australia as a model for roads that are high motorcycle use.